A lot of people think that keto is expensive, and it can be if you're buying expensive cuts of meats and packaged keto foods. But there's a way that you can have delicious home-cooked meals without blowing your budget. Today, let's make keto enchiladas for less than $1.50 a serving. This recipe makes up 2 trays, which is 16 servings, so you can enjoy some now and eat it throughout the week, or save one for later. For keto tortillas, you can buy these store-bought low-carb tortillas. They range around 40 to 50 cents a tortilla, depending on the brand and the store. But they do have gluten in them, which I try to avoid for inflammation reasons, so today we're making gluten-free keto enchiladas using egg wraps. The egg wraps that you can find at the store are expensive. Right now, they're around $5.99 for a pack of 6, which is $1 a wrap. And if you're making 16 enchiladas, that's $16 worth of egg wraps you have to buy. So instead, I'm gonna show you how to make your own egg wraps for 1/3 of the price. And you just need 2 ingredients, egg whites and xanthan gum. To make up 16 egg wraps, you're gonna need 4 cups of egg whites, which is equivalent to 32 eggs. And it's actually cheaper by 4 cents just to purchase the liquid egg whites rather than buying the whole eggs themselves, because you're gonna need 32 eggs. And that's a lot of cracking and fishing out eggshells, so don't go there. Add that to the blender along with 1 teaspoon of xanthan gum. And the xanthan gum serves as a thickener to our egg wraps along with helping with support. Blend that until it's smooth and frothy. And if you didn't want to use xanthan gum, you could substitute with 1/2 cup of protein powder, but xanthan gum is your cheapest option. Once it looks like that, we're ready to pour our egg whites into a non-stick skillet over medium-low heat. And make sure you spray this with oil first, and you only want to add enough just to cover the bottom. Let it cook for a few minutes until you can easily slide a spatula underneath and flip it, and then let it cook for a few more minutes, and then you'll remove it from the heat and repeat. And you can use egg white wraps for a bunch of different things, from lasagna, quesadilla, even just sandwich wraps. Now that my egg wraps are done, it's time to make a simple beef enchilada mixture. So add 3 pounds of ground beef into a large skillet and let that cook over medium-high heat until browned. And make sure you season it with salt too. Now this is a simple, basic, budget-friendly enchilada recipe, so I'm using canned enchilada sauce. For more flavor, you can make your own, and I do have a recipe on my website for homemade keto enchilada sauce. Just Google KetoFocus enchiladas to find it. But to make your own, it ends up being more expensive than just buying the canned enchilada sauce. You want to add about 1/2 cup of sauce to the skillet and then mix it. And now it's time to assemble our enchiladas. Pour a splash of sauce on the bottom of an 8x10 baking dish, and then grab your egg wrap and scoop in some beef mixture and top with shredded cheese. And I'm using cheddar cheese that I've shredded myself. It's actually cheaper to buy the block cheese rather than pre-shredded cheese. Plus, you don't have those anti-caking agents, which can add unnecessary carbohydrates and fillers. And your cheese doesn't really melt as good either when you're using pre-shredded. Finish that until you have 8 enchiladas, and then we're gonna pour over a little bit more of the sauce and top with cheese. And then fix your remaining enchiladas in another baking dish. We're gonna bake these at 375 for around 15 minutes, just until the cheese is melted and bubbly. Making your own egg wraps and using them as tortillas brings this dish to only $1.48 per serving, compared to $2.48 per serving if you were buying the egg wraps at the store. And to be honest, I actually prefer the store-bought egg wraps compared to homemade egg wraps because the homemade versions can actually taste a little eggy, so your dish ends up being more of a huevos rancheros type of enchilada rather than just a classic enchiladas. So if it's in your budget, just buy the ones at the store, plus it's easier. And if you want to see how I fed my family a week's worth of keto meals for around $40, then just click right here.